Do you turn around and look for me? Taking off your makeup, had enough, you're fed up, living on the light you gave me. You can steal my heart away. I'll give it up, little darling, if you would only stay. No, it won't be too long before I need to call you all along. Then I won't have time.
I tell you what makes Varnamtown so special is family and the way of life. That's what makes it special. You know, everybody is, whether they're kin to you or not, they're your best friend and your neighbor, and it's just a unique place. And there's probably few places left in the world that still has that community sense to it like Varnamtown does. And it's just a great place.
You know, a lot of the memories I have here is, you know, everybody, you were able to just ride your bicycle up and down the road. I mean, you could go to, you know, Bible school during the summers and ride your bike there and ride your bike home. You know, all the kids would get four-wheelers together and we'd, you know, ride up and down the road. We probably weren't supposed to, but I mean, we ride wide up and down the road and have a good time with that. I mean, it's, you know, you know almost everybody, so it's easy to, you know, go out and not have to worry about, you know, anything.
Varnamtown, a long time ago, when I was nothing but a kid, like I say, nothing but sandy roads and only about 15 homes in the neighborhood. And but still, during the Depression, we was rich compared with a lot of people because we had the river where we could go in the river and get oysters, we could get clams, we could get fish. Didn't know what pollution was. I never heard of the word. And you could get oysters 7 days a week, 365 days a year if you wanted them. So we was blessed. When I was a kid and during the Depression, I remember seeing them and people talking about soup lines in these cities and towns. Some of them 3 and 4 blocks long. I've heard about people starving to death, didn't know, and didn't have no money, but we was blessed down here. My father peddled fish all over Varnam County, up there Crusoe, anywhere he could. And there wasn't no money back then, hardly. You got a dog, he was doing good, but he traded for meat, chicken, ducks, anything that he could trade them for, pecans. But getting close to Christmas time, old man Jess wanted him up there. Midget's uncle and my cousin, and old man Eddie Galway, that was Gary and them's grandfather, and 1 or 2 more. Was they love alcohol pretty good, and they said, Claude, that was my daddy's name, said, Claude, how about see if you can get us a little wine for Christmas? So we need some spirit.
When your life's a funny tragedy,
family, it's about small town community, it's about the fishing and shrimping industry, which is pretty much a huge part of our history of living on the coast, and that's how a lot of people have made their living over the years. And you know, it's dying off, so it's interesting to see this community and see fishing and shrimping and living off the land and how that's changed over the past, 30 years of my lifetime. So.
I see a lot of boys go out of business. I've seen a lot of guys, you know, I've seen the fuel prices hurt them, really hurt them the last couple of years. Now this year, or last year when the fuel started coming down, it's made their profit margin a little bit better, you know.
When we put this mess overboard, between our cables and doors and nets, and time you put that mess overboard, you got $10,000 under the water dragging for a $2 product. You got to catch a lot of shrimp to overcome the equipment you got under the water, not even counting the wear and tear on all the rest of your equipment and stuff. That's the main problem with us. Our equipment and everything costs us so much anymore.
So you can hardly make a profit?
Like I said, if we had boat payments, and all we're doing existing right now, maybe things will change in time, but I doubt it.
Well, the regulations really have, once you got the turtle shooters that go in the boat, well, we've been using those now for about 10 or 15 years. The fish eyes, we've been using, I guess, about that same. They let the bycatch go. All that, they've come a long way with that, and you know, it's not really hurt them. And if they really, it really helps them sometimes when they get into a lot of jelly balls and stuff, they can drag in different areas that they wouldn't be able to drag in.
They have one rule that I don't agree with. I'm 85 years old, and I realize they've got to have rules and regulations, but if a shrimper is shrimping and a flounder is under 14 inches and him live, I can see putting him back overboard. But if he's dead, they still got to shovel him overboard, because if they keep him, it's over $100 fine to keep one flounder under 14 inches. But that's a sin and a disgrace to keep, to take fish that's dead and put them back in. They could, if nothing else, bring them and give them to old age home, nursing home. Give them to people that need it, but they won't do it. If the shrimper is caught with a fish under, flounder under 14 inches, and if he goes to court, it's over $100 fine.
Trust me, you'll get a ticket from you bring him in. And don't you think they won't catch you too? You mess with them wrong.
Yeah, the Coast Guard boys are now, and as well as the.
Well, we like everybody else. Everybody's after us.
Yeah.
You got the Coast Guard, you got the wildlife, you got the Sheriff Department, you got the State Patrolman. Everything we do, we got all the law after us. So we got to be pretty well straight in our business. It's not like a public job, shrimping ain't. People work for shrimping, it's not a public job. They work for a percentage of what this boat makes.
They don't catch any, they don't.
If they don't catch none, they don't make no money. And that makes it hard with crew people too. They don't like to work that away.
You know, some of the boys that got out of it, you're the better shrimpers are now the ones that are in it, you know. If they were barely making it before, they're definitely out of business now. You got, you know, guy that owns his own boat, he can do right well.
What few shrimpers left are old. There are no new ones coming in it. So
A lot of boats are for sale, they can't get rid of them.
all the boats are for sale. Can't get rid of any of them. So it's just a matter of time with all this. This will be over with. It won't last many more years the way it's going, because all the old people will be out of it. And the younger generations can't afford to get in it because there's not enough money to live out of it.
I mean, it's weeded out the so-called shrimpers, what I say. People used to go out there and drag, you know, and could make a living when the fuel was real cheap, and everything was real cheap, and still get by. Now with the prices of nets and everything going up, fuel going up, it's weeded a lot of them out. Which is probably good for the industry, because now what you got out there now is your top of the line shrimpers and know what they're doing, you know. I mean, really, it's really, you probably had too many boats in it. I don't know about this area, but I know like in the Gulf, you've got far less boats than you used to have down there. And the boats that are still working now can do right well. Even if the shrimp prices are down, the fuel will stay down for them. They can still, if they catch more, you know, it'll still be all right for them.
And so this economy, people down here that built houses on these beaches and in these neighborhoods, they was getting good money, carpenters, plumbers, painters, and all that was making good money, but then this housing is going to bad. So a lot of people in this area, a lot of people in Brunswick County and other places is hurting. And I'm afraid it's going to get worse instead of better for a while.
There's no work. I mean, you know, everybody you talk to, whether it's friends, family, relatives, whatever, you know, they've been out work, you know, for months now. You know, I've talked to a few people that, you know, in the last 3 or 4 months, they've only had 2 or 3 jobs. Meaning, you know, building a porch here or doing something there, you know, if they're in construction. I mean, it's just, there's not much out there at all. I think, you know, the commercial fisherman industry probably took a hit, you know, a few years before this, but, you know, this has definitely probably hurt everybody.
Well, they used to build boats down here. Let me put it this way. There was a boat building down here for years. Billy Varnam, Johnny Varnam, Clyde Varnam. Their father built boats down here, anywhere up to 80 foot shrimp boats. They couldn't build them fast enough. And people come here to shrimp, and they could get good money, what we call a good price for shrimp, and fuel was down, the cost was down, carpenter work, boat building was down, but boat building got so expensive now, the average person can't afford to build one.
I think the biggest thing is people down here know how to survive in tough times. I think most of them at one time or another have been through tough times in their life, and the experience they've all gained there and the knowledge they've got at how to deal with situations like that is what's going to get them through a time like this. And whether, you know, it's older folks that have more experience that can help younger ones that have never been in this type of situation, you know, I think that's probably going to be the biggest thing that'll help a community like this.
Brunswick County is a fast-growing county, and a lot of people are moving in, but there's no jobs here. There's not enough jobs to take care of it. I've been told that the paper said there's an average of 10,000 people moving in Brunswick County every year. And I remember when the population in Brunswick County, they said it was only about 20,000. Now they say it's over 100,000. And so there ain't no industry here. Nothing for a lot of people to do. And so it puts a hardship on people, and a lot of people that's living even in Varnamtown here. We have, they doing anything they can, and they're having to leave out of the county to go to work. And some of them works in Wilmington, some of them works on tugboats, like I say, anywhere that a lot of them, but there just ain't enough work here in Brunswick County for them. And but still, it's home, and I wouldn't trade 1 acre for all the rest of the world I've seen. But that's Bobby Norton's daddy had that store built right there. He sold drinks and candy and stuff. And
there was a watermelon patch out there.
Yeah.
Albert Stanley.
Albert Stanley.
Had a watermelon patch out there, and me and Martin and Dougie went out there one night and was going to steal us a watermelon, and Uncle Curly came out there and saw us, and we laid down in the grass. And Uncle Curly came out there and put his foot right on my back and said, "Lord have mercy, where's those boys? I saw them out here stealing watermelon." And he knew good and well it was us.
Yeah.
And he put his foot right on my back.
Uh-oh.
How old is this cemetery?
I'd say 175, 200 years old.
The cemetery is 200 years old?
Yes, it's at least that. I don't know when it was before. It was reading why it was named Holden. I've been told that was the first buried here was a Holden. And a fellow by the name of Holden, Holden, give the land here. Of course, now Dixon Chapel owns a part on one side, and Gospel Center's got another piece over there. But some of these graves, I don't know how old they are. Howard, John's Hubbard Rosewell, before you didn't you crop back for him?
Not Mr. Hubbard, Archie Holden.
Yeah, well, John's Archie Holden's grave yonder where you crop tobacco for him.
Mr. Archie.
Yeah, well, John's Archie yonder, you crop tobacco for him.
Alton Varnam.
Oh, that's Alden. That was Alden Varnam. That's one that Archie killed 1940. May the 13th, 1940. Killed, oh, that's why they call it the Archie Hole. Because Archie went down and drowned himself. And Archie Galway shot and killed Alden Varnam down at the landing.
Why is that?
And I don't know, that was in 1940. And then he got in his boat and went down to the edge of the marsh and tied some cinder blocks around his body and jumped overboard and drowned himself. That was May of 1940. That's Alden Varnam there. And this here was a Varnam boy that my daddy said got bit by a black widow spider and he died when he was young. That was Daddy's brother. His name was Curtis. And my oldest brother, Curtis, was named after him. How do you know who this is? Dudley Jones. That was Carl Galway's. That was Carl Galway's, Malcolm's, Reeser, and Garth's grandfather, great-grandfather.
Miss Kizzy.
Yeah, that was Carl and them's grandmother, and that was our grandfather there. Aaron, this here is your great uncle, Floyd Roosevelt Varnam, and he was born in 1907 and died in
1971.
Yeah, and that there's Uncle Johnny Varnam, Daddy's brother, and when did he die, Howard?
1971.
Yeah, 71 too. 6 months difference. They was brothers, but they was my daddy's uncles. My daddy's brothers. I get them right. My daddy's brothers, and that was Grandpa Sam's, right there, buried there. Right there, he's buried right there. Grandpa Sam.
His picture was hanging on the wall at church.
Yeah. His brother was Roland Varnam, the second one. And his daddy was called Roland Varnam, and he's buried at the River Run Plantation in that cemetery over there.
They told me since I had the biggest mouth that I had to welcome everybody. But it's good to have our family together. Varnams, Dixons, Rivenbarks, Browns, Galloways, Fullwoods, Lancasters, and who did I miss?
Locklers.
Thompson, well, yeah. Nortons. But anyway, thank you all for coming. This is great. I got my instructions. Remind everybody that needs to sign in, so we'll have the information on who's here and who's not here, so we can talk about you. But this is great. I mean, it's good to be able to come home. It's good to be able to get together with our family and our friends, and this is good. Now, if we bow our heads, we'll say the blessing, and we'll go ahead and start eating, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm starving to death. Let's pray. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the good times that we have to spend together. We thank you for the fellowship, and we thank you for our family, and our extended family, and the blessings that you've given us over the years, and the blessings that you're going to give us in the future. Now bless this food and the hands that prepared it, and us to thy service. All these things we ask in thy name. Amen.
When you think of Varnamtown, what do you think of? All right? Yeah.
What do I think about? I think of home and all my family and growing up and just a wonderful, big, safe family where, we had get-togethers all the time. We never kept doors locked, riding bicycles. It was just wonderful because everybody was kin to everybody and life was just good.
All the loving arms, embracing strangers, treating them like they're family. It's the truth.
It's named after my great-grandpa, son. That's makes it special.
I would have to say it's the history, the heritage, and the family.
What you want me to say? How much I love you?
No, I already know how much you love me.
Okay.
What makes Varnamtown so special?
The people were wonderful. Everybody here is absolutely wonderful.
What makes Varnamtown so special?
Oh, because all the Varnams live here. Oh, I love Varnamtown. I might go away from home and I might travel miles away, but I'm always at home when I get back to Varnamtown.